Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls, joined by the First Lieutenant of the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Blake Tabor. Good to see you, Lieutenant.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Another busy weekend for you guys and gals out there. It's certainly, we have a couple of things to talk about. Maybe we'll start talking about the traffic stop investigation that took place, and then we'll move from there.
Okay. So this particular investigation, again, sort of lends its ear to what our narcotics division does on a daily basis, proactive patrols. We don't talk about it enough, but in between these in-depth investigations, they are certainly doing an extremely solid job of pulling vehicles over and finding those drugs that we wouldn't necessarily know was there otherwise. Mm-hmm. So this particular incident happened on March 10th, shortly after 8:30. They came into contact with a vehicle near Bayou side and Highway 58 when they noticed a traffic violation. Ultimately, they made a traffic stop near that intersection where they came into contact with a Sean Michael Francis. He's a 27-year-old male from Gray. You see him photographed here. Mm-hmm. And then the front seat passenger was a Michael Ross, an 18-year-old male. We do not have a photograph of him that was available. Ultimately, when the agents came into contact with those two inside of the vehicle, they immediately noticed an obvious smell of marijuana coming from the car. Of course, anytime we smell those type of odors, things begin to progress very quickly, which this case it did as well. Ultimately, when they were asked to get out of the vehicle to continue a search, we noticed some obvious signs of illegal narcotics in plain view. So again, that's a red flag that steps things up pretty fast. So ultimately, the search ensued from there, where they located certain amounts of marijuana and heroin inside that vehicle, along with multitude of drug paraphernalia and also a handgun. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, Sean Michael Francis was arrested for tail lamp violation, possession with the intent to distribute heroin, possession with intent to distribute marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and also illegal carrying of a weapon in the presence of a controlled dangerous substance. He was currently held as of this morning on a no bond. He may have had a bond set since. And then also the front seat passenger, Michael Ross, was arrested for identical charges with the exception of the traffic violation.
You ever think about it? I mean, I used to ride in the beat with you guys all the time. Most of these people that get arrested are because they have a broken tail light or something else which sort of alerts the police, hey, let me check it out. And it makes you think, what are they thinking of to have all that in a vehicle that's not even road ready?
Absolutely. You know, you would think that those types of things would be taken care of, but again, I think that lends its ear to the fact that they're just worried about what is going on in their daily life, and they're not worried about making sure their vehicles are up to par like it should be. With that being said, you know, we hear a lot of comments about, well, it's a license plate lamp. Well, it's a Louisiana law. And I can tell you this, that our narcotics agents and our patrol division and our detectives are very aware of what the laws are, and they will do what is necessary to get these drugs off the street.
Yeah, y'all do a good job of making sure that everybody's up to speed on that. Let's go to, we have a Destrehan man that was arrested for burglary in Terrebonne. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so this one is extremely, this is one that we're extremely proud of. So this isn't the first case that our new criminal patrol division has investigated, but it's certainly one that they are very proud of. So we were made aware of a camp burglary that happened, and ultimately, through a lot of cooperation from the public, led to the development of a David White Jr. He's a 47-year-old male of Destrehan. He was ultimately arrested in a joint investigation. Again, you see him pictured here. Mm-hmm. He was arrested in connection with a joint investigation between our agency and also the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office. So somewhere on about February 27th, we learned of a camp burglary where the victim and owner of that particular residence, of course, lives elsewhere. We immediately responded and began an in-depth investigation along with our detectives. The thing that we're most proud of with this is when our Criminal Patrol Division and our detectives began to contact the local community and local residents that are in that area, they were extremely forthcoming with video surveillance, information that they were hearing from the streets, which quickly helped us develop a suspect vehicle. And then that suspect vehicle description led to us identifying David White Jr. So ultimately, on March 5th, it kind of came to a head. Our Criminal Patrol Division reached St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office. They again kind of culminated in this joint investigation where they located the vehicle in the 100 block of Annex Street in Destrehan. That led to a search warrant being filed by the St. Charles Parish Sheriff's Office, and the vast majority of all of our stolen items were recovered, along with a large amount of narcotics and weapons, as I understand it, which, of course, Mr. White will stand trial for in St. Charles Parish.
But y'all got a lot of equipment back that he had stolen. That's always a plus, because normally Absolutely. It's already gone, huh?
Absolutely. That's the number one aim. Mm-hmm. Us not being able to get that property back is almost like the victim being victimized twice.
True.
So this is a win-win for us, and to get Mr. White into custody and have him face all of the charges is beneficial.
Well, certainly, I know y'all do a great job, and please pass on our thanks to the sheriff also. And
I sure will.
You've got a lot of good people in the right positions, you being one of them. Thank y'all for doing what y'all do, and we appreciate it, and y'all stay safe too.
We sure will. Thank you very much.
All right, First Lieutenant Blake Tabor joining us. And don't forget, go to your smart TVs, get the Roku section, get the HTV app, watch as clear as day anywhere in the world. We'll be back. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Parabon General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.